It is all hands on deck in the search for missing 3-year-old Lina Sardar Khil.
Now, police are focused on Fredericksburg Road near Wurzbach Road. The night team's Patty Santos has been outside that complex talking to people who live in the area. So, Patty, you've been there for hours already. What do you know? What have you seen?
Well, I can tell you there's a lot of concerns from the community, from people that live around this apartment complex where Lina Khil was last seen. And you can see behind me here, there is still a pretty strong police presence as the search continues. Tonight, we saw a heavy police presence inside the Villas de Cabo apartment buildings, but also in the apartments neighboring this complex. Police have been walking the premises, watching the parking lots, and knocking on doors through the entire block radius. Every vehicle that comes in and out of the apartment complex is searched. The FBI command vehicles arrived just a few hours ago to set up posts in the apartment complex. Margaret Constantino, who works with the refugee community, tells us Lina Khil's family are Afghan refugees.
They're new to the community and they're probably very scared and they don't know who can help them. So they've got a lot of people around them right now that are trying to help find this baby.
Neighbors tell us they feel pretty helpless, not being able to do more to find her.
It just kills me that, we don't take care of our kids anymore. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about parents. I'm just talking about the community. And we got to take care of our children. They are our futures.
And just looking at the situation here, when we first got here a few hours ago, there was still a strong police presence, but we have seen officers start to leave. The FBI vehicle that we mentioned there also left the scene. But again, this is where the focus has been the entire time. If you have any information on her, she's 3 years old. She was last seen wearing a black jacket and a red dress. Call police if you have information and if you can help police tonight.
We will continue making as much contact with the community as we can, trying to find someone who knows anything about Lina. And I mentioned it yesterday that if anyone has any information at all, whether you think it may be helpful or not, let us make that determination. 210-207-7660 is the number to call. That is our missing person section. And that information will be passed on immediately to those working the ground on this case. And that's all I have for you right now. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, we don't have any further information as to where Lina may be right now.
But you say you do have video footage that you're looking at. Is there anything that shows a person of interest, a vehicle, anything that we could tell people to look out for?
Yeah, no. We would put that out immediately if we did. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of video footages that we've recovered, and we continue to look for more video that may be out there that we've overlooked, but we have not come across anything yet that may help us as far as the video goes.
Chief, can you talk about the difference between the case being handled as an abduction versus a missing persons case?
Yes, if it were an abduction, we could either be looking for an individual, or we would have evidence of the child being abducted and hopefully a tag number or a suspect to go along with that. Right now we don't have any of that. So we're treating it as strictly as a missing person. That may change, but right now it's still a missing person.
Chief, can you talk about the communication barrier with trying to get that message across to the community, the Afghan community, in that process?
I think that we've resolved our communications issues right now. We have an interpreter that things are flowing smoothly with that being said. But initially it was because, again, the dialect that was spoken by the family was not a common one, I'm told.
Emily, do you have a question? One more question.
Yeah. What kind of footage are you reviewing? Is it like video from Ring doorbells, or is it from the apartment complex?
It's anything that we can come across. Anything that we find, we're going to review. Whether it's a Ring or whether it's somebody's personal videos, a house video. No matter what type of video it is, if it has information on it that we're interested in, then that's what we're looking for.
Have any community groups reached out to the police department in hopes of helping, whether it's in the surrounding areas you guys maybe aren't searching? Have have they reached out with canines or services like that?
We brought in canines from out of the area, from a missing person that specializes in missing persons. We brought them in the first night that we started our search. They picked up a scent initially, lost it, and we've not been able to pick it up since. The community at large has been very, very helpful in our efforts to find Lina. They've been very cooperative. Anything that they could offer, they did. The two leaders that I mentioned in the Muslim community have been very helpful. We've been putting things out on social media in that dialect, in Arabic, in hopes that someone will, maybe be able to help us out.
Chief,
One more question, guys.
How important is the first hours in a case like this?
Early on is very important, and then unfortunately, I have to say that the longer the time lapses, the less hopeful we become.